So we gave up our apartment 2 days before we were going to move in. I got a call that no person ever wants to get is from my flooring guy, Teresa. We've just arrived at the house and there's been a fire. And so we're like, okay, what do you do? One moment at a time at that point. Turns out what happened was he was redoing the floors and he put the stain rags in a bucket in this guest bathroom, and they combusted and they started a fire.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Teresa Perkins, is the founder of Stay Scenic, a hospitality company. She and her husband, Mike, got their start investing in real estate by using an in-law suite in their home as a short-term rental. She helps women launch their real estate investing journeys. She also started a nonprofit, Small Cloud Housing, Inc., that focuses on providing transitional housing. She's a contributing author in the book Hospitable Hosts STR Sisterhood Edition, which just became an Amazon bestseller. Welcome to the show, Teresa.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'd like to start at the beginning, right? Getting into real estate, using that in-law suite as a short-term rental. How did that come about?
Oh my gosh. It is quite the story. I might have to back up just a little tiny bit. We wanted to move out of Minnesota because we were really tired of 6 months of winter. And so we were like, we're going to go south. So we had a long list of items that we wanted in a house. And when we decided to move, that was during the time of after COVID that everyone else decided to move. Actually, that was when we could actually make the move. So while we had a long list of wants in our house, there was also high competition. You probably remember that time when everybody was moving. We were trying to compete with offers that were like, over asking, trying to think of what that
Concession.
is.
Yeah.
No concession, no approval or, anyway. So it was really challenging. Even we were on our way to see places and they said, oh, I'm sorry, that just went under
Sold.
contract. Like, oh my gosh. So it was a challenging time to buy. And the long list that we had, my husband has a lot of toys, Mustang, all of the things. And we needed a lot of space.
Garage space. Yeah. Got to put the
Around-
Mustang somewhere.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so, we were trying to get that. We also have kiddos and we needed to get down here before school started. So we were like, you know what, we're just moving into an apartment. And we're like, okay, well, this is a more interesting season than we anticipated it being. So we not only just had a move that was across states, but we moved into an apartment instead of a house. And, then there's a whole host of craziness that goes along with that, to be honest.
For
We got
sure.
into our apartment for 3 weeks and we found the house that we now, we bought. And I should back up to I think we have spent our entire marriage doing housing projects.
Okay.
We've spent probably 5 to 10% of our marriage in a Lowe's, Home Depot, or Menards, or I think our hottest date might have been when we bought 3 toilets. It was we're no,
On a personal home, like the homestead, right?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
yeah, yeah. Well, this one happened to be the house that we just bought that had the in-law suite in it. So we had a lot going on. When we found this house that is now our home, I love this so much. Our realtor said it had a lot of deferred maintenance, which is my new favorite term for saying that it needed a whole lot of work. It was,
Yeah.
we prayed that we're like, please, Lord, we've spent the last, 15 years doing all sorts of projects. Can we just have a house that was no projects? Don't say that, because you just laugh and like, this is what we got, was a series of projects, which was great. It's a beautiful home. It had the bones. It had the garages still, and that was the important part, in land. Also the really cool part was it had an in-law suite in it, which was just bonus space for us at that point. We were now living several states away from our family and friends, and we were like, because of COVID, most people could work remotely. And we thought, what an awesome thing for us to be able to have a space dedicated to our guests that would be able to just, have their own space. They could stay for a week or two. We didn't care. It was just extra to us. And so we were starting to do because we lived in the apartment, and because of all the deferred maintenance, we were like, you know what, let's do all the things that is more difficult to do while we are not living there. So we had all of the wood floors redone, which was throughout the whole house.
Yeah.
Painted everything that would stand still, and so forth. So, and then we're like, okay, it's time to move. So we gave up our apartment 2 days before we were going to move in. I got a call that no person ever wants to get is from my flooring guy, Teresa. We've just arrived at the house and there's been a fire. And so we're like, okay, what do you do? One moment at a time at that point. Turns out what happened was he was redoing the floors and he put the stain rags in a bucket in his guest bathroom, and they combusted and they started a fire. Fortunately, because it was in the bathroom, one of the water pipes burst to put out the fire, and basically stopped everything from going up completely
Yeah.
because nobody was there. We would have been a total loss, but it also then flooded everything, which included the basement. So it was that's an interesting learning there, that now we know how to deal with fires. There were things that we dealt with that we didn't have a clue, like I never thought I'd have to replace the attic insulation or have the ducts cleaned, or, all of the things that come with a fire and a flood. And anyway, the in-law suite was part of that. And so we ended up, it also needed a whole lot of love. And I'm like, well, I guess that got moved up the list to fix. So now we're fixing the in-law suite. At that point, I had also joined a real estate mentorship where we were talking about all things, all the different things you can do, which there's so many opportunities in real estate. The sky's the limit, which is the wonderful thing about real estate, and the terrible thing about real estate is if you don't focus on one thing, nothing gets done, because there's just so many ways you can go and so many cool things you can do. While we were doing this, I was starting to look at, what can we do for short-term rentals? I really love short-term rentals. Both Mike and I come from a big family. We love hosting. We love people.
Yeah.
And what is it? Mike's like, why don't we just use what we have? Like, why get another mortgage? Why don't we just, change our in-law suite, use it as a short-term rental? There was a couple things that we would change design-wise because of that. But man, that was awesome. It was like, and I'll give him credit. I was a little mad that I didn't think of that first, but but no, he came up with this great idea. So that is exactly what we did. And I shut off everything. I laser focused
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
thing because it was like, you know how it is when there's just so many good things. But
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I wanted to focus on the thing that I knew we could do well and that could generate revenue to so allow us to recoup some of the money that we had spent on other things and, really start us down the path of a steady stream of income truly for as long as we want it to be. I mean, one of the awesome parts that I love about having a short-term rental in our home are the tax benefits. So both Mike and I
Sure.
work full time. And now when we were able to get, things done in our house and because the guests paid for it, we have a hot tub, which was part of our strategy. We have a pool, which is awesome. Um, but we're like, well, now when the pool season dies down, we really need something to keep coming, to keep guests coming and to be competitive because this is actually a really competitive short-term rental market. Chattanooga is there's so many things to do in this area. We have a lot of people. It's actually a really huge
Yeah,
tourism
yeah,
industry
yeah.
in the billions. Um, and it's just a great place to be. And you know what? It's kind of funny because we had targeted Chattanooga as where we wanted to be. We wanted to be in Tennessee. There's no state income taxes, which is a big deal. Um, but we ended up being in North Georgia. And you know what? Not long after that, Chattanooga actually passed some restrictions on short-term rentals so that
Hmm.
we would not be able to do what we do today if we had landed in
Would have had to
Tennessee.
be 30 plus day stays. Yeah, that can be
Yeah,
tricky. I've seen something similar happen in Dallas, right?
yeah.
You mentioned, getting the start in the in-law suite. Once you had success there, were you then looking at acquiring other short-term rentals?
Yes, we are. We absolutely would love to be in the Gulf Shores area. Not only because it's a great place to be, but we really like the area. We want it to be kind of a lifestyle asset where we're able to go and enjoy it ourselves, as well as, bless people with other people that say, you know what, why don't you come stay, enjoy a stay on us, or, go where you may not have been able to go otherwise. But yeah, love
Yeah.
that market. We went for our first time last year. We're totally hooked on it. It's really just so beautiful. The white sandy beaches. It's lovely,
I
really
mentioned to
lovely.
you in the green room before hopping on here, I'm looking into the Gulf Shores for myself. I'm looking at some areas
Yeah,
of the country. Gulf Shores is certainly one of them in
yeah.
Alabama. I also know, you're involved in the transitional housing space, helping veterans, folks reintegrating into society from the prison system, and then some other, segments of that world as well. How did you get into that space?
You know, we have, I'll just say we were at church one day and our pastor was talking about this story. And you may be familiar with it, the prophet Elijah, where it was a season of drought, which we kind of felt like we were in personally. We were having made this transition and, we were trying to find our groove in our new home. We love it. Don't get me wrong, but it was a challenging season in many ways, especially with the fire and all the craziness. But we had heard about this small cloud. And it was like, okay, he was in a season of drought. They prayed for rain, told his servant to go and look for the sign of a breakthrough, the sign of rain. And the servant went back 7 times and finally came back and said, hey, I see a small cloud, size of a man's hand. And it was the sign that abundance was coming, the sign of huge blessing coming. And it was like for us, our small cloud was our in-law suite. It was a sign of a new beginning, a big abundance coming, and that actually has been incorporated into a mural on our short term rental as well as in our keychains. This is small cloud. That's why our nonprofit is now called Small Cloud Housing Solutions, because we want to also be the blessing to someone else. We wanted to. We also have a lot of veterans in our family. God bless them. We love the veterans. We love folks that serve our country and their families. That's a big, big commitment. um, And we wanted to think, we're starting to get a little bit older, and we're starting to think about our legacy and what we can leave.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And how we can serve. And for this, that meant for us to provide housing for some of those populations, such as veterans, the folks that you mentioned, the prisoners that are transitioning back into the community. Another one that pulls on my heartstrings is that kiddos that have have aged out of foster care that don't have a house
Yeah.
or don't have permanent home, which as a mom that, does me in, I'm sure, as parents, it's hard to hear that not everybody has a stable family. I grew up in an amazing family, and everybody deserves that. One other thing that I think is one on my heart, and I hope it's really cool and I hope it works out, is I'd love to have a farm where we can have, one or two houses or whatever, and have people learn what it's like to own, be responsible for animals or plant a
Yeah.
garden, or all the cool things that come with that. So,
That's
um,
a game changer. I've had that experience. I grew up in northern New Jersey. I lived on a ranch in Denton, Texas, which is still considered Dallas-Fort Worth, even though it's like 30 minutes from Oklahoma, where I was living. It's probably a little bit closer to there than it is to DFW. But working with the animals on the ranch, and then putting up
mhm.
fences and moving chicken coops, and putting eggs into incubators and watching them hatch. You're like,
Oh,
wow, this is a whole other level of country that I'm being exposed to. And I will remember that for the rest of my life. I did it for a year. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. You also mentioned how important it is for, people to have some level of involvement. I echoed this, and I also think that this is echoed, with our government as well. I think that there, in many states, is money set aside for transitional housing, for veterans, for some of the communities that you mentioned, and I think there's even potentially real estate investment strategies that can be tied into that. One of
absolutely.
the ways that people tend to oversimplify this is, again, a kind of an extreme analogy here, is people will compare it to like a Section 8. Oh, there's money set aside for Section 8. This is different, right? This is different. But just in the same way, people might be surprised that there might be some funds set aside specifically for certain types of housing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're just learning about that. I'm really anxious to connect with other investors that are doing something very similar, because there's a lot to learn. One thing that we've done is we have invested heavily in mentorships in many areas of our life. That has been a game changer for us. It's so nice to not only connect with like-minded people who raise you to another level, but when we work together, and so many times when we're in school, we're taught, you do your own work, you're doing it all by yourself. The opposite is really true in real estate. It's all about the relationships. It's all about working together. It's all about lifting each other up, in my opinion. Um, how do we help each other, and how can we become stronger? How can we help our communities? How can we help, each other and lift each other up?
We are coming up on time here, Teresa. Any new projects that you're working on? And then as well, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Well, new projects is really the nonprofit and getting all that moving. So there's a lot going on with that. We are going to start with veterans homes. Uh, and the best way to reach out to me is you can email me at Teresa. So it's Teresa at stayscenic.com. And that's easy peasy, or you can always call.
Teresa, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Dylan. I really appreciate you having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.